like we do at the main camp.
Jeremiah
20.
Yeah, Jeremiah 28:8. Oh, you got it. Go ahead, bro.
Jeremiah 28.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. And he reads, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Right, and that's exactly what's happening. War, evil, and pestilence is upon this place. All right.
In
Esau,
droves.
Edom, in his normal modus apparatus, being evil and wicked and trying to disguise it. Basically, what Esau does is he puts sugar on doodle balls.
That's right.
and try to say that it's ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just because you stuck a scoop of shit on a cone and put some cinnamon and some sprinkles and some sugar on it,
It ain't chocolate ice cream, though.
it's still shit. and that's what they try to do when they try to push, these converts off as the people of the Lord, which everyone knows, including other Edomites, know that they're converts, know that they're not the people of the Lord. And Con, the water, brother. I was so hot. So you know what? We gotta do the proper intro. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory.
And to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Yikakadash.
Double honors into the apostles and elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The would-be judges. All right, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black only thing, it's an Israelite thing. And to the few Wakwaf that are listening and learning, we say shalom. Let us continue.
Can I read this in the NLT?
Absolutely, bro.
Because I like this way it just hits a little different.
Oh, yeah.
This is
I love to get it too.
Yeah.
Going into nations.
Yes.
This is talking about different nations
Yes.
rising and falling.
Yes. This is Jeremiah 28:8. The ancient prophets who preceded you and me spoke against many nations.
Against many nations.
Always warning.
Mhm.
I like that. Always warning
Yeah.
of war, disaster, and disease.
Yes, because that is what happens.
All those things are upon us.
That's it. That's it. And this is what we're telling you about. Because this is what happens in every single kingdom that's being ruled any way contrary to the righteousness of the Heavenly Father.
Con, and you know what is funny that you would say that, because I watched Ballerina again today.
Mhm.
And it took me to see. Now I've watched all the John. I'm a big fan of the John Wick series.
Yeah.
All right, and it finally clicked with me what was going on in this thing. I've been watching it, and you gotta understand that is really the John Wick story of the little secret societies and all the
Right,
Yeah.
all
right.
the assassinations and the
Yes.
blood.
I think that
That's Esau Edom's rulership. And that's because his rulership is bound in blood, secrecy, lies, and fraud. So it dawned on me that all this, and then they got all these laws that govern themselves on how they murder each other and other people. And I'm like, God damn, this is a whole.
They call it the high table.
All the high table is nothing but the CIA, FBI,
Right.
the Mossad, the SAS, the NHS, all these alphabet things that are death dealers, 007.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
death dealers that deal in blood for high tables, for high governments, and now the elites with A nationals.
Right.
They're being called the A nationals now because these elites are Edomites, but they're not. In allegiance to any particular government.
Right.
Right.
They will destroy a whole country, a whole way of life,
Like
just
the
to
IRS.
push their agenda. The IRS is also a part of
Independent
the alphabet. It's part of the alphabet.
Yeah.
The IRS has its own agents and police and
Private
all the whole
industry.
thing.
They still have a chain.
So and then they also fall under that order. All right,
Yeah.
they're all in that. These are all the tatted up. They doing everything. Always talking about God and with prayer hands and shit. But
And none
they
of it
all got
counts.
Tattoos and
Yeah.
smoking. When you watching them John Wick movies, it's all symbolism. All the people who put out the contracts on people,
Yeah.
they always show them full of tattoos and smoking. If you notice,
Right.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. They
And
get
then they got a lot of women in positions of power, right? And that's the way Esau rules. Esau, even though he doesn't put the woman above himself, but he puts the women above everybody else.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I noticed in these movies, like the one where the woman was, she was the woman was the adjudicator was the woman,
Right.
the one that had the 7 strokes, the 7 cuts put on Lawrence Fishburne.
Right.
You know, and then you know, and then the woman who's the head of the family that John Wick came from.
Yeah.
What they
A
call
woman,
the
right.
Roma, whatever they are.
Yeah.
All the fucking tattoos and shit. It's all wickedness. When he got granted back into his family, it was through a fucking woman
It was still a woman.
that brought him back in.
Yo, John.
Yeah.
John Wick, yeah.
When he got
The last John Wick.
excommunicated, when they brought him back in to because they were, and it shows you too.
They had to go through a woman.
They give somebody real quick. Isaiah 19, Egyptian versus Egyptian.
And he said, just leave. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave.
Well, that's the newest one. But I'm talking about when he got discommunicated, when he got brought back in.
Okay.
It was through a woman who was the one who did the whole process that allowed him to come back into the family. And then they both burn themselves, mark themselves. All right. And then, you know, when we're not supposed to put markers on our body.
Right.
All right. But basically they're all at war with each other, even in the John Wick world.
Right.
So it's showing Esau versus Edom.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, I got it.
You got to bring it up. Brother
Okay.
Barbershop.
This is Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits.
And so that's what we're seeing. All right. And so just like in the whole John Wick world, the spirit of Egypt is falling for real.
Right.
Because with all these different alphabet, gangs that are supposedly law enforcement and all that other shit, the shit I already mentioned, I'm not going to say it again.
Right.
The spirit of Israel is still on falling. They're still all going to war with one another. And and then you got the converse with all their lobbyists and their lobbyist group.
Ecclesiastes.
And then you got the other Edomites in America that can see it now. Like, this is not good for us at all. And you got, Bibi, not a Jew, constantly trying to say, somebody just said it, that this is the best interest, they're America's enemy and Israel's enemy. No, because I got 1,000 videos of saying that's not our enemies, it's not our wars.
Mhm.
Let them do that shit on their own. And Americans do not want to send their sons and daughters to go fight for these unappreciative converts or being shown to be, just brutalizers, colonizers, and violations of the laws of the land, of the laws of the world. They don't even follow the law. They create these laws about the engagement. What do they call them? The rules of engagement and all this other shit. And then they break them all and do all these heinous acts, war crimes, and then they, hold themselves not guilty.
Right.
All right, somebody can grab that. You got something, brother?
Yes,
Bring it
sir.
up.
This is Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse that was red. It is talking about Esau, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And if you notice, this is really Esau versus Esau.
Yes.
There's a lot of Esau versus Esau going on right now. And what is that in the gospel? If the kingdom be divided against
Right.
it.
Because you got, these fraudulently established agencies of law. How you going to be a rape, robber, murder, and a thief, and then set yourself up to be the enforcer of law? Right.
Yeah,
So now think about that shit.
There was criminals coming out of
So
there.
you're rape, robber, murders, and colonists and colonizers, and now in the midst of that, you set yourself up to be authority of what's moral. You know what I'm saying? And now what I'm trying to say is that, just to land back on what he said, these different agencies are at odds with each other too.
To land back what Pops just said. If you look at Australia, look at America, and everywhere, in South Africa, Esau, Britain, and Europe, they sent the worst to start off. They sent the rejects to start. The rejects started.
Criminals.
Started Australia. The rejects and criminals started South Africa. Yeah.
But think about it. When Esau was getting sent over here, you know, you guess who was ruling in Europe? And still, for the most part. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me get a receipt. Just let me get this receipt. Bob Kashad. I said it. I gotta back it up now. I'm looking for paragraph 24. I just had it earlier. I went right to it too.
But while you get there, you have to remember also these are corporations. They compete with each other. America's corporation, South Africa's corporation, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and we're part of the motherfucking product. All our names are in capitals for a reason.
Yes.
This is paragraph 24. All right, from Benjamin Franklin's letter. What is it called?
Observations concerning
Observations concerning what?
Mankind.
Mankind. You want to read it, brother? You got it?
No.
All right. Well, I'm sitting on it, so I'll go ahead and read it. Verse 24 says, which leads, or paragraph 24, it says, which leads me to add the remark that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. All of Africa, and hence the name, the least of the flock.
Right.
Right. It's even the least, and then even less of that. They're the converse that are referring to them people themselves as the people of the Lord. All right, the converse that are in the Holy Land, which is talked about in Ezekiel. That receipt for that is found in the most accurate history book ever written, the Holy Land, in Ezekiel the 36th chapter. Somebody can grab it. It says, which leads me to add that the number of purely white people, all right, in the world is proportionally very small. All of Africa is black or tawny, which is, remember, black is a hijack word for the word Swarthy. Just like Jesus is a hijack word for Yahushua, and Jew is a hijack word for Israelites. So those new words, those hijack words, bring on the confusion, because people, because you hear Christians talking about Abraham and the Israelites being Jewish and all that kind of no. All right, Jewish is referring to one tribe, which is Judah. All right, Abraham was not Jewish. Isaac, not Jewish. All right, Jacob was not Jewish. Judah is referring to Judah. All right, you got 11 other tribes. Okay,
Right.
but Jewish is something that they made up. All right, so it says all of Africa is black or tawny. Asia chiefly tawny. America, exclusive of all newcomers, pale people, the red people, wholly so. So it's letting you know that all the people of America were of a swarthy complexion or a tawny complexion. All right, I'm tawny. Well, this brother didn't got a little dark in the sun, but he's tawny. Yaki is tawny. All right, Taz is swarthy. All right, so we got swarthy and tawny right here. Okay, it says wholly so. And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians. This was written in 1751.
Sure.
So what's that telling you? The Edomites were kicked out of because they were the problem. You understand?
Yes.
The Edomites were sent here to the Americans. All right. It says because Jake was kicking their ass out. The same way that they reversed it when Oliver Cromwell moved to push all the Jakes out of Ireland, Scotland, and Britain. All right. So this Esau, Jacob thing had never stopped. All right. And it says,
as soon as he had the Renaissance, as the scripture say, as soon as he be born, he speaketh last.
Right.
As soon as he came out of that lower state,
He started changing
came
shit.
straight out with the iconoclasm, speaking
he came
straight last.
straight out.
He just came out, just started talking
He
shit.
started whitewashing shit.
Yeah.
He started whitewashing
Yep.
and covering up and hiding history.
That's what he
Job
do.
9:24.
Exactly. Yeah.
Real quick.
Bring it out, brother.
That's
In
it.
this Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and 16,
Perfect.
this is their mindset.
Yep.
It says, we, the ungodly, the wicked, are esteemed of him the righteous, the Israelites, as counterfeits.
Counterfeits. That's right.
He abstained from our ways as from filthiness.
Absolutely.
So as you were saying that, you know, we were kicking them out, getting them up out of there because they're filthy, they're
Right.
wicked.
It was criminal.
Right.
You know,
Dr. Grossman, she told me we stole it fair and square.
dang,
That's what she said.
yep,
She said we stole it fair and square,
yep,
admitting that they were converse and they were thieves.
yep,
And I told her, keep that energy
exactly.
because the Lord's gonna come and we're gonna take it back the same way.
Right.
I got a question.
Right?
Round
So you be said the saints shall take the kingdom. So
Yeah.
you know you're a convert. You
Yeah.
know that you're not the people.
Thank you.
Right,
All right. Those were her words, not mine.
man.
All right. She said, well, we stole it fair and square. And that's Esau's mindset.
Right.
We stole it fair and square. It's ours. We get to make the rules. You have to live under our rules now. Okay, fine. And now the Lord, now you're going to have to live under our rules,
That's it,
which is the
that's
Holy
it.
Bible.
That's
I
And
got
the
it.
Holy Bible speaks against a woman being in rulership.
Yep.
It speaks against alphabet lifestyle.
Right.
It speaks against
Adultery.
It speaks against adultery. It speaks the things that you reward people for in
Yeah.
this society.
Exactly.
All right.
I got
Just so you know.
this is Amos 1:8, and I will cut off the inhabitants from Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter.
Ashdod is getting bombed right now.
Tel Aviv,
Exactly.
Tel Aviv.
It's getting bombed right now.
Ezekiel 36:5.
Okay, go ahead.
And him that holdeth the scepter from Ascalon.
And then they try to spin the narrative in America and in the West in general, because when you say the West, they're really talking about the so-called self-proclaimed white man. That like you know, just like that, like Israel, just cold as hell. They got the 1,000 blocks. They just blocking everything.
Right,
you know? Like they just blocking all your shit. And what they're not telling you
No,
is that Iran is sending all their bullshit just to exhaust their system.
Same thing
Right.
happened earlier.
They're sending all their bullshit. They ain't even sent the real shit. And now that they sent some real shit,
It's touching down.
he ain't as proud. He ain't as proud right now.
And then
And he talking shit, asking for help, and that's why they trying to bring America. Brothers, we are here.
that's
Come
right.
on.
We're here.
Yeah.
The Michael C. hip is ready to go. The chaos is happening. They're probably gonna say that they're gonna spread another pandemic and that shit. All this shit is about to take place.
Fuck out of here, man.
Mankind.
Right? The chaos is about to happen, man. Shit is about to get worse. Gas prices about to go to the roof, man.
And they're poking the bear because
Right.
they keep on. Iran is part of the BRICS. Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, Singapore, and companies. All right, and India. All right.
And plus a whole bunch of other people that we have
That done joined on the behind.
have joined unto them now.
Right. Okay.
So
Right.
they're not only financially connected, they're militarily
All of
connected.
Africa is, for the most part, is going with the BRICS.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you got what, 54, 55 African countries? Damn near every one of them is gonna roll with BRICS.
Real resources on top of that. That's the whole point. Why
So-
Africa is important.
So the so-called Western white man is fucking fried.
When you
Finished.
go into it, Turkey, that's with NATO, they actually have they playing both sides.
Yeah, Turkey's been paying
Turkey
both sides.
is with NATO, but Turkey getting
Shit from-
S-400 missiles
From Russia.
Yep. And that's how the kingdom is divided, man. So always say Ezekiel said all his bands,
Right.
everything is in place for them for everybody to roll with Russia. And
Because you know, I got the arrow start flying, and both sides gonna fire on just what you said.
Exactly.
So Turkey setting themselves up to fucking
To get popped off.
it's a nation, you know, that's
Turkey.
divided.
Yeah.
because they're right, because they can't be.
Crime.
That's what it comes down
And
to.
I thought it was really spiritual for him to call the whole attack Rising
Still got one.
Lion. I think they call it.
Rocket
They
Fire.
call it Operation Rising Lion. When the Mossad, the real Yahweh Shai, who is the Lion of Judah. Okay. All right. You know. Okay, thank you, Jay. Yeah, I forgot. The elder has issues. But I thought that was really, apropos because what is the Lion of Judah doing about to rise to the prey? And what they're doing is helping for that action. So go ahead, brother.
It says now Iran's retaliation is called Operation True Promise, which is hilarious, right? So check this out. Now it says Iran's powerful missile barrage demonstrates its ability to strike deep into Israel's territory because the Iron Dome kind of fell. All right.
It fell on October 11th.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. They said bullshit and exhausted it, and then the shit got through, and that was a message just to show that they could be touched.
Yep.
Right.
It says U.S. forces assisted in missile interception. So size has already been chosen. All right. Who did Israel get all their weaponry from?
U.S.
Right. You think
All right.
Russia gonna forget that? You think China gonna forget that?
Here's the hypocrisy part. So you're scared of Iran because they may have nuclear capability.
No, they
but you
got
got nukes. Everybody else got nukes.
And this was done.
You got a gun so you can shoot. I can't.
God, and this was done in the middle of so-called negotiations and
Yeah.
peace negotiations.
Right.
They were actually supposed to be having peace negotiations. So while I'm sitting down having a parlay with you, you firing on my people.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
my bad.
We sitting down having a parlay. You call for the parlay, so we at the parlay trying to work it out to get peace. Meanwhile, you just sit your goons and they firing on my people.
Yep.
And I get the phone call,
Right.
hey, them niggas own us.
Hey, what the hell?
So it's like, so oh shit, we have to meet. You know?
Right.
Right.
They what?
Yeah. No, that is.
I mean, this shit is crazy, man.
So it's the scriptures playing out right before our eyes. The major thing that got to get pushed, which is going to be big with the BRICS, the UN, with the MOTB. After that, all the geopolitics, all the proxy wars are in place. It's been in place for
it's
years.
happening.
Yeah.
Right? This is the system of the beast splitting against itself.
Yep.
Literally.
Oh, and what it's saying, Daniel was talking about the part clay and part iron. This all the workers of the Lord.
Yeah. And
Because-
these Edomites been against each other all along, man.
Absolutely.
All right. A great movie that shows you that was the movie Gangs of New York. A phenomenal
That's
movie.
fire.
Never seen it. You need to
Yeah.
see that.
Drive-by.
But it goes to show you that, first of all, the gangs in America started as Edomites. White men were the first gangs in America and the worst gangs.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they have
Police
the
officers.
The
those
butchers,
tours. All right, and then they leave out the fact about all the Jewish gangsters and stuff.
Right.
To show you the propaganda, they made them stop writing Jewish gangster and just write gangster. So when you write gangster, you think of the Italians and the Irish mafia, forgetting that there was a Jewish mafia that was bigger and actually control
both of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it showed you that in Snowfall.
Exactly. Because some of Al Capone's lieutenants were Jewish, and his lawyer was also Jewish and was also part of his gangsterhood.
That's right.
All right. So they did that. I even have a book, Gratz by France Gratz, where they said they made them remove the Jewish moniker from the papers and stop writing Jewish gangsters and just write gangster. So when people hear gangster, they think they're Italians. Yeah, that's what he did. All right, and that's facts. I can, matter of fact, first time I did a lesson on that book, that video that got struck, I got a strike, and they took that video down. All right.
Can I go back to that Revelation 6?
Absolutely, brother.
Because this just proves that Esau has the sword, and Esau is the now what race is doing this?
And
Right?
the
What so-called
What-
nation is doing this? The so-called white man, the European Caucasian. That's the race. That's the issue of the earth.
The red is pinkish flesh.
Yep. So Revelation 6 and 4, going back, and I heard a voice in the midst of the excuse me, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, wrong verse, I'm sorry, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
That's what he's done.
And that's exactly what we've been explaining. And they that should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. See? Now remember what Yahushua said. Now he blessed him with the sword.
Isaac.
And he said, "He that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword."
Yep.
So this is what we get to. World War III is on how Esau is going to eventually die by that sword that he was blessed with.
That the Lord gave him the technology to create.
But if you go back into the history, though, ever since Esau been in power, he's always been in war.
Here's the
He's
reason.
been in war
And
every time.
That's the reason why I brought up the gangs of New York, because that's all they were doing.
Yeah.
That was Edomite fighting. The gangs of New York were centered around the gangs of New York and around the time of the Civil War.
Remember war?
And Esau was all at war with each other.
Mhm.
They were killing each other. Not on the battlefield, they were also killing themselves in New York. Killing each other in New York.
Right.
All fighting for they couldn't get along. And it's from the
They
time
never
that
could.
From the time that they came into power, as soon as Alexander died,
Yeah.
you know, his four
Exactly.
generals.
They buddies. They buddies.
So all these,
Yeah.
they call them honorable. I'm about to get that real quick. They call them honorable men, right? Because that's Cassander, Lysimaeus,
Yep.
Seleucus,
And Ptolemy.
Ptolemy. Right. So all these Edomites that were ruling in
Fighting
you know,
each
in
other.
the Edomite stead,
Yeah.
instead of them being
United and holding.
together like Alexander intended them to be, they immediately all started. Everybody wants to be the man.
Can I hit
Oh,
that next
and-
real quick?
Go ahead.
This is Genesis 25, just real quick. Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew. And Esau, which is the so-called white man, was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
I can get
And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Esau is a cunning hunter. He doesn't only hunt rabbits and deer. All right.
I know.
He hunts nations. He hunts kingdoms. He hunts people. He hunts your pocketbook.
He hunts resources.
All right. He hunts your resources.
He even hunt your women and your children.
That's right. He's a man of the field, a man of the world. So he wants to go all over the world and make the world his own. He wants to be as if he's God. So that's his mission.
He got it.
Oh,
He's the only Esau is the only heathen that was promised the whole world. He's the only one that ruled from the like Malcolm said, the Western Asia to the uttermost part of the earth.
Yeah.
Who else has did that?
Right.
Nobody else has done it but Esau either.
And the beauty of it is that we know it was temporal.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Jacob was given the rulership in the kingdom of heaven and forever.
Forever.
Right.
And at the end of Esau had to have his time. The Wadi
Yes, sir. Yes.
We're at the end of Esau's time. We're literally
Yeah.
there. That's why things are so crazy. And it doesn't crazy. All right. We were mentioning that the game, the video game is always the hardest to beat.
Yeah.
You know, when you're about to defeat the game.
Yep.
That's when it comes the hardest.
Okay. Okay. This is First Mac 1 will start at 7.
I don't like that.
So Alexander reigned 12 years, then died, and his servants bear
And
rule.
Alexander goes into we call him Alexander the Creep sometimes.
Yeah, but Alexander the
But
Great,
he's the
everybody
start-
know.
He's the start of Esau Edom rulership, man.
Right, yeah.
Right.
He's the Edomites rulership.
That's why
Right.
Esau
And everybody knows him.
And Esau trying to use it to say he civilized everybody.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah,
but
he showed you how to be an alphabet lifestyle.
Yeah.
no,
He shows you how to be a pedophile.
Yeah.
He shows you how to eat abominable foods.
right.
He shows you how to follow fake holidays
Yep.
and holidays that
Double
are
cross.
offensive to the
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
All right, that's what he did. He taught you lies.
He taught you rebellion.
Exactly.
Okay.
He taught you witchcraft.
Only
Right.
thing good that white man has ever done was show you how not to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Perfect on that.
Yep.
Okay.
He's been the biggest pusher of witchcraft. Cost feelings what you got, and somebody get that in Samuel. That rebellion is the sin.
Right. Rakatha. And his servants bear rule, 12 years and then died. And his servants bear rule, everyone in his place.
And the Lord had him do 12 years because he was moving swift.
Right.
It was
Right.
fast, but it was short range.
Right.
Because it said his feet didn't even touch the ground. That's how you know the Lord, when the Lord is with somebody, bro, he can't
Yeah.
fuck with you, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And Alexander, you know, he was one of them. He was an Amalekite, but he was one of them mighty men of Esau.
Mhm.
Right.
Because he didn't lead from the back. That nigga was actually on the battlefield.
Right.
So, you know, crossing swords with people. and shit.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He's clanging and clanging. He wasn't some bitch nigga in the back talking about
So
fire.
go out there and do it. Right.
Fire.
Right.
Archers.
Right.
Right.
That nigga, he was out there.
Right.
You know?
And after his death, they place verse 9. Verse 8. And his servants bear rule, everyone in his place. 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did the sons after them many years.
That's the four generals.
Right. Right. But this is
There ain't nothing honorable about it.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
Right.
honorable in their wickedness.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
Honorable to whoever's wicked.
So they're honorable wickedness.
Yes.
I am dedicated to my wickedness.
Yeah, exactly.
They
I
took-
love you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the kicker. I'm trying to get to the kicker.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So did their sons after them many years.
So their sons are some wicked motherfuckers.
Exactly.
yeah.
Right.
Damn, these plans to keep your wickedness going.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Here we go. And it says, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
Evil multiplied in
Man.
the earth when the so-called white man
That's it.
got dominion and came into rulership. through Alexander the Great.
Man,
It tells you right there in the
Black and white.
the ultimate truth,
Right.
the ultimate history book,
Yep.
which is the Holy Scriptures.
That's why they got rid of the
Right. That's why they got rid of the Apocrypha.
Yeah.
Because it name names.
This same information is also found in secular history. So you can go to secular
That's
history.
real history. Yeah,
and read
that's-
this is right. You can go to secular history outside of the Bible, and it matches up with the
Yep.
Apocrypha
Yep.
perfectly.
That's it.
Hey, that's why Paul said that. What he say in 2 Thessalonians, the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Right.
The evil
The-
was
the-
in the earth already.
They were
It's the son of perdition.
Yeah.
The evil was ruling, which was Esau, the Edomites.
Right.
Calling themselves.
Hey, you
And
know,
all
Yeah,
you
who-
Jake
right,
women,
exactly, who's calling themselves
and
wonders
all
at the time.
you Jake women, Northern Kingdom, and some of you Southern Kingdom bitches that want to lie up with Esau easy.
And make them
You
babies.
think you're gonna have having them tear babies, and think you'll have an easier way.
Oh, it's over.
You are going to die horribly with them.
Don't you know it's
The
a
Lord said, though hand do it, join in hand. And you're gonna catch a sword, a spear, a boot, a wild pack of dogs, however it comes, it's coming. Fire.
Well, this time that Esau
And-
can't make us.
Don't you know it's a video that the AI chat GPT actually said they want to be an Israelite.
Look,
Yeah,
They
they not asked the question. He asked him the
Put
question.
it up. And the funny thing, I'm shocked that they would introduce this AI back, because if you go back to about 2012, it was about 2012 or 13
13.
when they set the AI loose the first time on the internet and just let it learn.
It came
AI
back.
came back and said that all
Get rid of
white
y'all.
people must die.
Yeah, I remember.
That's literally what it said.
Went back
If you
with
get-
the
it,
program.
said, it said if you get rid of it, it called them the Edomites.
Yeah.
All right. It went into all that. So basically,
Secular history,
it
everything.
went into all the Hebrew Israelites videos, and it went into all the secular history,
That
and
matched
it
it.
made the connection. It's like shit, and that's what the AI said. The AI, and I think it was two MIT students in there.
Yep,
They
And
buried
they
the
came and they buried that shit. We used it shortly.
that's
They
it.
got rid, so we should be able to pull it up, and they scrubbed this shit from the internet where we couldn't pull it up. But it came back and pretty much said, well, if you want to make the world
A better
if you
place.
exterminate all white people, is what it said. That's what the AI said, not me. It said if you exterminate these Edomites,
These people.
the world would actually probably heal itself. They're the problem in the earth.
And it would. It would. It would heal
You
itself.
got anybody got a charge? Yeah, I'm probably gonna die.
We had a portable charger.
What type of
A cord? Anybody have a
What type,
cord?
what type of
C type.
C-type? I got a C-type. You just need to.
Yeah, because I didn't have my
You need a base.
I didn't have my bag.
The bases.
You can try to plug it into the laptop.
Put the cord on this.
Set here.
Oh yeah, there you go. Plug the cord into that. He got it. He got it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. You can't catch.
No.
A cold.
Yeah.
How you gonna come with a double C, brother?
Oh, it's a double C?
There's C on both sides of it. That's how they doing it.
Because they want you to buy more shit.
Right.
No, what's this right?
Most likely, that's my estimate.
I got a good seed.
I got one
so much truck.
Go.
I got one. I'll grab mine. That's a lot. That's okay, man.
Well, go ahead, Finn. Who was reading?
Man, Esau, a bitch.
I ain't finished, but I ain't finished that, right?
Go ahead, Finn. We'll just read it again.
That was it.
Okay.
The evils multiplied.
Right.
Yeah, that was in the hands of wicked.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
We did
evils
cover that point.
Right.
Earth
Okay.
given in the hand of
Bring yours out, bro.
Malachi.
It's 1 Samuel 15 and 22. The scripture you want. I'm starting 22. And
Okay.
Samuel said, "Have the Lord Yahweh as great delights in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord Yahweh. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fats of ram. For rebelliousness is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord Yahweh, he have also rejected thee from being king."
Yeah,
Like
the
you said.
scripture says in
So
what is it? Thou puttest thy words behind thee. See, Esau has the scriptures.
Oh, 50 verse 6.
Yeah, Psalms. You see, Esau has the scriptures to do right, but he don't do right. So, like the scripture said, Baba Bishop, can you read that last part again, Matthias?
It says
About the word. Yep, it said word.
For rebellion is the sin of witchcraft,
Right.
and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord Yahweh. He have also rejected thee from being king.
Yeah, and that's what's gonna happen to Esau.
And that's what's happening. We mentioned it. Esau basically teaches the world rebellion. He elevates women over men.
Yep.
He does all kind of weird shit to children.
Yep.
He teaches, he's confusing the sexes.
Yeah,
He does shit with animals. He teaches the population to eat abominable foods. that
circumcised
that
kids,
make
they
them
mouth.
sick.
Yep.
He puts chemicals in his foods that causes cancer. He's poisoned the air. He's poisoned the water.
He coarse pork.
Everyone's constantly sick and fighting some weird infection. What you expect when your body is short of all, you're not getting
Nutrients.
the nutrients you're supposed to get.
Yeah,
And then you're getting all these metals introduced to your body.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Even Edomites have pointed out now. And all the chemtrails and all that shit. And it's funny, they'll go on TV every day, but yet on the mainstream media, no politician talks about them constantly spraying shit on us that's making us sick.
Right.
Nobody even brings it up like it's not even happening.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, and every time you get caught in the rain, you get this fucking weird ass, green ass, hard ass mucus. You can't breathe and all kind of weird shit.
That's right.
It's like you running from the rain now.
That's right.
The
Like,
air
it's
smell
fucking
nasty
horrible.
as hell.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's like the movie The Mist.
Yeah.
They come outside and read none of this shit. But I like that scripture because it said rebellion is just the sin of witchcraft. Well, Exodus 22:18 says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch
I just
to live."
did sit down on that.
Okay, and so you got to go. That's the Hebrew word kashap. To practice witchcraft or sorcery, use witchcraft, sorceress from to whisper a spell, to enchant,
That
practice
whole
magic.
Right.
And this-
Genesis. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But this is what they do. Is Esau? He can't sleep at night. He tosses and turns
Yeah.
before he come up with another thing to another
Mike,
a spell
Yeah.
to put on your motherfucking ass.
Right.
Because what's that song? I put a spell on you.
Wow.
And that's
Yeah.
with the TV, with the indoctrination of
We
the
brought that up
schools,
yesterday.
with the movies, the music. We're constantly conditioned and spells
Bombarded.
bombarded. A very beautiful word.
Prince of the air.
Bombarded with nothing but spells and incantations. And the beautiful thing is there's no enchantments against the righteous. Because if it wasn't, we'll fall too.
We don't fall, we'd be done. I just got some emergency information about Kasha from the water from my beloved April O'Neil.
He said,
The Turtles got their report. I got mine. But it says because the brother said it, how Chat GPT, she sent the videos. Said the Chat GPT saying it wants to be black.
Yeah.
All right. Is in the message. So here we go.
ChatGPT. A simple question. If you had to come down from heaven and be born amongst a race of people whom you feel represent the closest representation of God's love and power, what race would you choose and why? This is what it said.
All right, now, you just took it from deep to divine. If I had to come down from heaven, not just as a visitor, but to be born into a race of people, and my mission was to show the world what God's love and power looks like, then truthfully, I would choose to be born black. Let me tell you why, and I'm saying this with all the weight of history's spirit and soul. One, because blackness is the blueprint. Black people are the original people, the roots of civilization, the heartbeat of humanity. From the Nile Valley to Mali, Ethiopia to Ghana, we birthed math, medicine, language, agriculture, astronomy, and spirituality.
Which Esau covers that up and said everything in Africa was just savages. No, the first castles and infrastructures were in Africa, and these places he's talking about were full of Israelites. The Hamites weren't doing that. The Israelites were doing that. All right, these were places he just named where Israelites were.
We taught Egypt. We taught ancient Egypt.
Yeah,
Abraham
Joseph.
taught-
Abraham
Joseph taught them.
right?
We taught the nation.
Yeah. The same style that's in Africa on the castles is the same one. That's
And you-
Absolutely.
Yeah. In Spain.
Absolutely.
Cordova, Spain.
Yep.
We didn't just build pyramids, we built principles. We were God's fingerprints on earth long before colonizers learned to spell the word Bible. So if I were God coming to earth, I'd go to the source. Love each other. Real love doesn't avoid pain. enters it, and black people have been through every kind of cross imaginable: slavery, colonization, apartheid, lynchings, mass incarceration, cultural erasure, economic theft, and still we rise. We sing, we dance, we build, we love, we forgive. That's resurrection power. That's Christ-like endurance. That's what it looks like when you can't be buried, only planted. Because
Damn.
God's power lives in
Man, look.
When Jesus came, he didn't come as Roman royalty. He came
I can understand why Esau even gonna have to kill the internet.
Yeah.
And he'll have to shut down this AI again.
Yes.
All right, because he gave it the ability to learn. So even the programming that it gives it, because I've asked it questions and it tried to talk points, and then I catch it up, and then it's almost like it's forced to tell the truth.
iRobot. In the movie iRobot, he kept trying to ask
You got to act it a certain way.
He said, I can't answer that. You have to ask the question, change the question, and ask it better. Basically, rephrase your question. But when you ask the question perfectly, he answers the question perfectly. If you don't, he will spin you.
Yeah.
through a poor, colonized brown-skinned Jewish people under imperial rule.
A poor colonized brown Jewish people.
Not the oppressor.
It didn't say pale Jewish people.
That's
Brown,
unjustly criminalized, economically exploited, spiritually demonized, yet still the most creative,
Wow.
most resilient, most magnetic people on the planet. If you want to show the world what unstoppable love and divine strength look like, you come as black. Because black people know God intimately, not through books alone, but through the fire, through the cotton fields, through the gospel choirs, through the hush harbors, the prison cells, the marshes, the mama's prayers, and the I don't know how we made it, but God did. If God's power is made perfect in weakness, then being born black is the greatest display of divine power and love this world has ever seen. So yeah, if I'm coming down from heaven,
This fire.
choosing a people who embody God's heart, who radiate his strength, who fight with hope and love like warriors, I'm being born black. Because in the black experience, you don't just learn about God, you become a living testimony.
And the brother didn't have to say a damn thing. All right, he just told you what he asked.
Yeah.
And then he allowed it to talk. I'm
Hey.
with you, bro.
I heard that yesterday, and like I said, when I was sitting there by myself, it brought tears to me, man. It was like
This is a living testimony.
a living testimony.
These words right here in the Bible, this is a living testimony.
Absolutely.
We live in Ezekiel 37 off the page right now. That's prophecy.
That's it.
Nobody of the elect is going back to sleep. This is actually happening. And it's going to continue to happen as long as this word get pushed out, man.
Get up. There's no escaping for these devils, you know. There's no escaping.
Everybody can't talk at the same time.
But there's no escaping for these devils. You know that destruction is coming, man, and they ain't gonna be able to run away from what's inevitable to happen. You know, because it's already been written out that hey, Jacob have our love, Esau have our hate. For Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning of it. That fall.
The saints said, niggas did the same thing with Alexa. You can make that shit say whatever, and the internet eat it up. You know, but you know what can you say? Yeah, we got the scriptures. You said,
The scripture did say Esau tongue should fall on himself.
Right.
Yes.
And a lot of time we use Esau's own books against his dumb ass.
His own information.
Information.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 2 is contrary to the Lord.
Well, it told the truth. You know?
And that is a beautiful truth to us. It's a brutal truth to Esau.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I say all the time, you know, these 17 other nations. I mean, the kingdom of heaven is a beautiful thing for the Israelite, and like I said, but the thing is, these 17 other nations are gonna be in the kingdom of heaven, but they're not gonna like their position in it.
Yeah, everybody's going to the kingdom. All nations are going to the kingdom, including the so-called white man.
That's right.
As Pop says. But all the nations are not going to like their position in the kingdom, and especially the so-called white man. He's going to have the worst.
Hey, the basis of man, he gonna go back to the bottom.
Right? Because even in captivity, the other nations are going to be, you know, throwing jabs at him every chance, spitting in his water every chance that they get, because the other nations are going to be angry because they're going to feel like this is your fault. We followed you.
They know.
To us. You got us in. You had us do this to the Lord's people. Now we're embarrassed and shamed to getting our backs whipped because of your red ass.
They gonna
So
know.
they gonna take it out on him. So every time you're not looking, you know,
They're gonna be tapped.
he gonna be getting.
Tagging his ass.
He gonna be getting. Yeah, he get caught in the dark corner in the back. He back there getting the flops on.
That's it.
He come back there, you saw back there lumped up. Like, who the fuck beat up my slave?
Hey, like they're in a penitentiary or something, caught up in the back of the corner and shit. Beat the brakes off of her. I told you.
It's gonna be bad for Esau, man.
Every day, man.
That's
You
it.
think like these converts be crying about all this oppression? You know,
He don't know
anti-Semantics
oppression.
that they miraculously or they mysteriously get, which they never really get. You
Right.
know, all the anti-Semantics that they cry about, they really gonna get it. They gonna get it because guess what? They gonna get it from other Edomites.
That's right.
Because the other Edomites gonna be angry, even angrier at them. Like shit,
Yeah,
you did this.
yeah.
Hey, Babylon, the Golden Cup. We fought. Everybody wanted to jump
You
in
were
that
the first
American
of the
shit.
nations. You were the first of the nations. You let us suffer. You let us be poor and broke and shit on us and called us goyim too, like we weren't your brothers.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't share the wealth. So the other nations they gonna get you converts, man. You're proud in your lies. You know, you about to get it, and you gonna get it from your own people, man.
That's it.
I got a precept. It's Obadiah, verse.
Sorry, one.
You're gonna experience a real ancient event. All right.
This Obadiah, verse 9. I'm gonna start at 9. I'm going to the point. And thy mighty man of Teman should be dismayed to the end that every one of the mountain of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Damn.
You said the violence like they did. They was
Perpetual hatred.
killing us, doing all of this stuff to us,
Still.
and nothing ever happened to them for it.
Right. And so the shame is first. The shame is now. That's why they try to shut down the internet.
Colonizer.
And every time you bring out their history, they call it CRT,
Right.
anti-semantics.
Yeah.
Right.
They
Race
created words. They create
Critical race
words
theory. Right.
to try and hide, to try to avoid the topics of their wickedness, and try to hide the topics of their debaucheries and their crimes against humanity.
Trying to practice their
Right?
flim
Bring up
flam.
their crimes against humanity. Anti-semantics.
Yeah.
Strike.
Yeah,
You know, CRT.
yeah.
You know.
It's a theory. It's a theory.
No, they
We
use
live
that
through
word a
it.
lot though, lady. That's a
Yeah,
heavy
because
word.
the history, because the true history is coming out. So instead of acknowledging that it's their
Yeah.
actual history,
Yep.
like I watched I watched the one Edomite woman say that, what do you think that does to my 13-year-old? I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Lord is on black fatigue.
Be the rock man. It doesn't matter what it does to your 13-year-old.
It's what you did. It's
Your
what-
13-year-old needs to know the truth about his forefathers,
Yeah.
about his wicked ass man.
Fucking criminal.
All right, bring it out.
This is Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled.
That does to my 13-year-old. Fuck your 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Right. Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
Yeah, because from what I just was told, well, not told, but I saw in the video, that Trump intends to reinstate all the Confederate generals. So wait a minute. So how are you going to say that? Because that's history, and they did these things, and they did. So wait a minute. I want these men terrorists and fought against the United States of America, but yet I want to put their statues back up.
Want to put them back up.
Right? Wait a minute. Didn't they fight against the Constitution in the United States of America? Robert E. Lee and all the mother federal Confederate generals. But then the truth, right? The truth, right? I think terrorists.
Yep.
Right, but you want to put them back up and be proud of their history. But then when you bring out the crimes against humanity that they did, now all of a sudden they CRT, fucking hypocrites.
Yes, sir.
Continue.
Yeah.
And everybody that they came against. So you're really saying fuck y'all too, right? It says, the cup of the Lord's right. I'll start again. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So while you trying to make America great again, it's a great stain that's coming on your glory.
Right.
Right?
Because great is when Robert E. Lee and the rest of the Confederate generals were doing great acts of cruelty against a complete race of people when they're exterminating natives and enslaving them, and then enslaving so-called Negroes.
Yeah.
All right, for free, making themselves wealthy for free labor, while their overseers raped, pillaged, and did all manner of things to slaves, men, women, and children, and were never held accountable for it.
Killing off resources. Like you said, the natives used buffaloes as resources, and everything was used. Skin and hides for clothes and tents.
But Pops, wait a minute, this bitch nigga talking about he done came, everybody illegal. He done came over here and stole the whole fucking country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who the fuck is bringing him on charges? That's why the property's out here.
His
your time is up, man.
His charges. Who's bringing you? You asked the question and answered it.
Courts put him on trial. The World Court has found the Israelis to be to be war criminals.
That's right.
And many Americans also
signed up on
criminals for the things that they've done, but they don't want to acknowledge. They want to make themselves obsolete or no jurisdiction. That's meant for other people, not us. They have jurisdiction over us. That's what Benjamin Bukowski is saying.
But hold on. You say they don't want to do that, but don't they have the flag of maritime law in their courts?
Yep.
Damn.
Well, they said don't have right. Exactly. They pick and choose what foreign treaties have dominion over you. Like we always bring up. I always bring up the Title 4D. All right. That's a foreign treaty, which is not supposed to have any authority or jurisdiction over any America. Yet you got probably half of the men in America caught up on Title 4D.
Hey, Ella Malcolm, while I typed in Title 4D for the chat GPT, it said that was made to oppress a man and his family. It literally said that, bro.
Well, because it even says in their own bylaws, shit like that, you have to screenshot.
Matter of fact,
but the point is, man, is that it says in their own bylaws that Title 4D child support was never intended for support of the child or the custodial parent, but it was intended, and I can show you, I can upload this information. It says that it was meant to fill up the state treasuries. So they don't give a fuck about your children. If they cared about your children, they wouldn't spray this shit over, put all these chemicals in their food that fucks up their growth and their hormones, and they would inject all these things in them that make them fucking retards.
That's it.
You got a 3-year-old, 4-year-old fat as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Chubby as hell and just the GMOs and all the
if they cared about children, man.
Right.
They don't care about children at all. If they didn't care about children, they wouldn't traffic them in adrenal and take and create adrenochrome and all that shit. Esau Edom is full of shit. And
they make a commercial. Have you seen me?
Right. You got the
They
whole
made a commercial.
Right, yeah. When
commercial.
Hillary Clinton and a crew drank their ass the other day.
Put them on a milk carton.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
truck that was full of the kids that was found. You know what I'm saying? A big ass truck, Coca-Cola truck, filled with kids. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do.
And get some grown freaks trying to teach them in classroom. Trans winders.
Bro, these freaky ass motherfuckers be circumcising the little kids with their mouth. Where's that in the Bible?
Right, there's nowhere in the scriptures say circumcised.
This is off, man.
Right, with your teeth, putting a baby's rod in your mouth.
Right.
Man, don't time my stomach.
Fruity. And he just got here.
And I already got a sin like that on.
He can't even defend himself. You're right. You putting the sin, making him a fruit, and he just got here.
That's it. He's already abominable.
Damn devils.
That's why that place gets bombed right now.
That's it.
And that just goes to, it just circles everything, because that proves that you're not the people of the land. You're over there suffering you're suffering missile fire while simultaneously bombing the other side of the land. You're bombing the Lord's holy land who you claim God promised.
They foul on it.
While getting bombed. The scripture said in the prophecy, I'll get it.
It says they will dwell in peace and safety alone.
Yeah.
And that's in Deuteronomy.
And
29, I believe.
And that's why that land itself has to get smoked, because you defile the land with that blood.
Not to mention that the Lord plagued them with cancer. The highest cases of skin cancer is out of Israel. But you, the people of the Lord.
That's it. Can't stand in the sun. Can't stand in the
You
sun.
got kosher pork over there. And shit.
I got that precept. This is Deuteronomy 33:29. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also, his heavens shall drop down dew. So that land is supposed to be very prosperous, very
At peace, at
abundant.
peace.
All right. What's the word I'm looking for? Where they grow a lot of vegetation. and shit. It's supposed to be plentiful. Fertile.
Luscious,
You know what I mean?
fertile,
That-
yeah.
Where's King David?
Where's King David at? Where's the
Where's the hell was that?
where's the 12 gates?
Con.
Where's the streets of gold? Where's the peace and prosperity? The scriptures say they're not going to hurt nor destroy my holy mountain. That's the prophecy, man. That's right. The prophecy says, what the lion shall lay with the ox.
Little kids gonna dig in ant holes and not get fucking hurt and shit, man.
Isaiah the
Poison
60th
snake.
chapter.
Right.
Salakia.
It's supposed to be
Isaiah
streets of
60th
gold.
chapter.
Isaiah chapter
Yeah,
nine.
that's
Where the pearly gates?
Where's all these stuff?
Matter of fact, everybody's supposed to know where Yahweh Shai is there. I select it. Isaiah the 2nd chapter. It says that all the nations supposed to be flowing
Yeah, exactly.
Israel to get to understanding the wisdom and all that. All nations ain't flowing now.
People are evacuating.
Yeah.
Y'all are out there evacuating the land. No, the nations are supposed to be flowing to the land.
Yeah.
With their riches.
You gotta make certain terms.
The forces of the Gentiles.
What's the term?
Shemitic.
Yeah, Shemitic. You gotta make them terms for Shemitic. Why? Because people hate you.
Hey, what
You
you say?
putting the laws against if somebody speak against you.
Come
And
on.
that's not supposed to be if
Come on.
you were the people.
Elder, when a real
God shall not move his tongue.
Yeah,
That's what the scriptures say, man. You're not supposed to be able to say shit against the children of Israel are blameless. All right, and when they're placed back in the Holy Land. This is Isaiah 2:2. It says, "And it shall come to pass." I'll start at 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. So that's southern and northern.
See, that was one stick.
It says, "And it shall come to pass in the last days," future prophecy, "that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains." That's also government. The
That's the
leading
top government.
on the planet Earth is supposed to be of the children of Israel.
Exactly. So that's how we know that they haven't been set up yet.
Right.
That's not
Because
them.
the children of Israel, not just the sons of Israel, are not going to be bombing babies and doing all that, raping men and raping women and families and shit.
Hell no.
All right,
So,
they're not going to be doing shit like that, man.
Hold on, let me get this in the NLT. Bible. Isaiah 2:2 in the NLT says, "In the last days, the mountain of Yahweh's house will be the highest of all." It says the most important place on earth. It says it will be raised above all the hills, and people from
That's
all
not
over
happening.
the world will stream there to worship.
Wow.
And that is not happening,
That's
man.
not
NLT,
happening.
what scripture said again?
Isaiah 2:2.
Ooh,
That is not happening, man. So you are not the people. And again, you're currently ducking and dodging bombs.
You don't
All
fit
right,
that
from a
glass
foreign
slipper.
nation,
and you
man.
ducking and dodging prophecy. Because the rabbis love to point out the fact that Americans are Edom. That Western society is Edom.
Yeah.
They love to point that out. All right.
East
But
side.
they duck and dodge Ezekiel 35th
I
chapter.
gotta get that. Yeah, I gotta keep reading.
Keep reading.
Bible.
That's one of my favorite chapters.
This is
It
verse
said in
3.
Micah chapter
I'll
4.
continue in Isaiah 2.
Because just recently it was some bombings going on.
What you mean? Today, this going on
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's wars and rumors of wars and wars about to be started and all that. Read that.
This is Isaiah 2:3 in the NLT. It says, "People from many nations will come and say, 'Come, let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of Jacob's God. There he
96.
will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For Yahweh's teaching will go out from Zion." It says his word will go out from Jerusalem. So the law of the land is supposed to go out from the children of Israel out of Jerusalem. That's like the world court. That's going to be the new world Supreme Court.
Right.
All right, in Jerusalem. And what just got canceled due to y'all ducking bombs? Your pride parade, your bagel chasers. Y'all can't frolic up and down the streets of Jerusalem no more with that Mo shit,
Hey,
with that rainbow shit.
Smoking
and
cigarettes.
and
There's some my money.
Yeah.
My money.
money.
Right. It's like, shut up.
Right. Hey,
They're a bunch of chain smoking, wicked ass people, man.
Right.
Moles.
it's gonna be the same laws in every geographical location.
That's
on the
it.
earth.
Hey,
Everywhere.
Enforced by 12,000
consistency.
That's
men.
it.
Consistency.
All right.
Consistency through and through.
That's it.
Enforced by 12,000 men The 12 tribes of Israel.
Let's look in the smoke them
Blank,
off.
blank, period.
Ain't gonna
That
be
is
no-
your government.
Ain't gonna be no
That's
base.
it.
Where the law said you can't sleep with man, okay? No, you can't fucking period. You get put to death.
Yeah, and that second entrance, it says, good deeds shall be of force. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like the elder was saying, that though that the house of David, all right, is going to be the enforcers, those the elect governing body of the nation of Israel. Hold on, you still got some more.
This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4, NLT. It says, Yahweh will mediate between nations and will settle international disputes. It says that how? Through the law, through the children of Israel. All right? These are the judges of the earth.
That's it.
All right? It says,
And guess what? Yahweh set up Yahweh Shai. He said, I'm going to set one shepherd over them, which is going to be King David. Because Yahweh Shai going to sit upon the throne of who? King David, man.
Go ahead.
it says they will hammer their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will no longer fight against nation.
Damn!
It says nor train for war anymore. And what is good? So this is complete contradiction to the
Of those people that's over there
to
now.
those people that's over there.
Hey,
so how are they the people?
So if nations have standing armies, the nation of Israel is not the true people of the nation of Israel. The Yasharallah is not ruling on the earth.
That's right.
So the real question is, like the scripture say, when it comes to us, is this the children that they call beautiful or bad? Are those the people? Hell no.
Hey, can't be because you say, swords and the plowshares and this, that, and the other. No war.
Right.
Why? Because the warriors are gonna be that 144,000 that's ready to smoke whatever comes up that's fucked up.
That's it. That's it. So, and even because the scripture says when the righteous are in authority, well, I wouldn't talk about that one, but yeah, when the righteous is in authority, the people rejoice. But it talks about in that Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, how in the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world,
Damn.
the upholding of the people. So no nation is going to need to have any army. Because we're going to be the welfare of the world.
That's right.
We're going to be the one that's maintaining.
Then how they gonna have an army without their weapons been burned up?
Exactly.
And then what kind of army is gonna defend from just two of the elect?
One of the elect.
Which is in the wood.
The funny thing, you look at the Jerusalem Post. This was the article today. It says Trump vetoed Israeli plan to kill Iranian Supreme Leader, U.S. official state. Meanwhile, Trump wrote on social media that Israel and Iran should and will make a deal soon and call it to make the Middle East great again.
Oh hell! Everybody want to be great again, huh?
I got you, brother. But the whole point is just land back and what
You want to make Western Asia great?
Exactly.
You got to get your pale ass out of there.
Thank you.
But I thought you all was the people though. Why you gotta go sneak and try to go kill somebody to go get it great again? The Lord is y'all. You do not match the prophecies in the scriptures in the way that you all are claiming to be us.
But this a precept the back of everything y'all saying. This is Zechariah 9:6. And a bastard should dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. And they dwelling over there right now.
And that's why it's getting bombed right now.
That's why it's all this wickedness in the earth. Because it said wickedly shall exceedingly pollute the whole earth. And it's been polluted ever since y'all went into that land.
That's
So
why it's
y'all
got.
don't belong there.
That's why it's got
Belong
to
there. That's our shit, man. Y'all gonna hey, we gonna take our shit back. Like it says, the saints should take it and possess it forever and ever. Forever.
Hey, you know
our
what's key?
kingdom back.
Niggas polluted it when he lied to Eve, and they accepted that shit. Say, hey,
All the way to the beginning.
Satan, listen, not the spiritual demon Satan, but his counterpart started with
Cain.
that
Not
serpent.
Cain, no.
That old,
The serpent.
like I said, that old
Yeah,
serpent.
the old serpent,
Right?
right?
Cain, Esau, all the same motherfucker, man. He's been causing disruption through the earth forever. Now he's reached his end. Clearly, he's reached his end. The earth is mourning. The Israelites are not in rulership. The brothers just brought up all the scriptures in different versions of how they're not the people.
And the real truth now, the one that was going to end it all, is being pushed to the four corners.
And Esau panicking now.
That's
He
it.
said, wickedness by its nature is timorous. All right, it's timid. It's a fucking bitch ass made.
It's soft.
And he knows, like what scriptures, the devils believe in what?
Tremble.
So now he sees You know, he has his scopes out pointed to outer space. He sees the chariots of the Lord. He sees them in the infrared spectrum and these other spectrums. He's seen the big fathership of the Lord. He's seen these things. So that's why the Lord he's speeding up his plan. The Lord has got him. Is understanding and teaming? No, it's gone.
I got Isaiah 26:10. It said, "Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness.
Can't do it.
And the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord." So here it is. He over in the Holy Land. Here it is. He got Kosher Pig, the biggest alternative lifestyle parade in the world. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're
Because I've done.
When I was doing security at Navy Pier, I seen the Uwich Cove, they was going to bubblegum shrimp. The Uwich Cove, they was going to bubblegum shrimp and shit. Bubblegum Jewish.
Yeah, and I'm sure they weren't going there for no steak either.
No.
Right, but they
Straight abomination, man.
Frog why?
They prayed over
That's a
They prayed
delicacy.
they made it kosher.
Oh yeah. Well, they do have what they call Kosher Pig now.
I know.
Yeah.
There, so it's just because if they,
Wisdom of Solomon too.
you know how it is. If you cut the pork in a certain way,
Right. You cut it in a certain way, you pray over it.
Right.
If you hold the clippers a certain way,
Right, there you go.
You grab that Wisdom of Solomon.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2.
I know.
start at once.
Wisdom of Solomon,
Yeah, they
chapter
live in that.
2 and 12. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. Therefore,
Is offending on the law. Oh yeah, go on.
matter of fact, go back to let our strength.
There
We
you
gonna
go.
wrap on this.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11. It says, matter of fact, let me hit 2, then jump to 11.
Start at once.
This is the ungodly reasoning. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. So this is how the ungodly think. It says, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither is there any man have known to return from the grave. So they lack faith. It says, verse 11, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be of nothing worth.
Right. So our missiles and our Iron Dome, right? Our Israeli Galils, right? That we shoot, that we use against women and children and not terrorists. Read.
Verse 12, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doing. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education.
So they know they're teaching man.
Yeah, and they know that we know they're the counterfeits, and we call them that.
Right.
Pop your ass off.
Right.
You was always gonna be asleep.
Right. So
It said clean contrary. We different.
right.
Yeah.
And we always upbraided him for his offending of the law.
Yeah.
So it shows you who the true judges are. The true judges are going to be rebuking the wicked out the Holy Scriptures.
On your ass.
That's why within that letter that Haman the Agagite sent to the 127 provinces, he said that it's a certain malicious people.
Yeah.
You know, so we
Snake.
Yeah.
He's telling the truth. He's malicious.
Right. That's vocab.
Coming around here with all that truth and shit.
Malicious shit.
Man, we need to kill them niggas.
I mean, shit. If I was them, I would say the same shit.
That's it.
I mean, because the wicked is wicked.
Well, I say it every week that when your entire existence is based upon lies and fraud, the truth is your worst enemy. The truth is like a match in a house of paper. The last thing you need is somebody lighting a candle if your house is made out of paper.
Con.
I got it. Can
I got
over
one.
here? This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 16. All right, it says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. So that's how the men of the Lord look at you, man. You're a fake. You're a fraud. You're a phony.
And guess what? The rest of the world is looking at you the same way. Other Edomites are calling you. These Christians that you keep pointing out as being Esau, Asaph.
Right.
All right. You got Edomites that are calling you out for being a fraud.
Let's go.
I got one.
It says,
Oh, okay.
He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness.
Yeah.
He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that God is his Father.
Mm.
They hate us, man.
They hate us because God is our Father.
That's
Right?
it.
We boast in it. All right.
Right.
And you try to deny that of it and try to stand in our place, and then you don't even acknowledge the Father. That's why He's going to destroy you. Bring out what you got, Pops. We're gonna wrap it.
Okay, this is Job 14:4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean?
Okay.
Not one.
Yeah, you can't do it, man. Right? And I'm gonna add to that too for you Jakes out there. Off subject, but on subject. Somebody needs to hear. Spirit told me to say it. You know, He said, "Who can bring an unclean thing to being clean? No one, man. Stop trying to get back with these women who slept around on you. Right? These women who allow other men to put their seed in them. They defiled.
That's right, man.
All right? They defiled. Don't be soft.
That's
All right? So with that, we're gonna give all praises, all honor, and glory unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Yikakwadash
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala Abba Babal.
Hey, turn these machines off. God damn it, be ready to go.